There's not much longer to go before Christmas, so let's open another advent calendar. Fancy seeing you here again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel with me, the Greg Who Lived, and in this video we're going to be opening a very exciting new advent calendar by Zavvi. Wherever you are, I hope you're sitting comfortably because we're going to be taking a zoomed trip through the 24 days of this Zavvi advent calendar, and I'm going to be showing you exactly what's behind each of the doors and the little surprise at the end. Before we begin, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be putting that at the end of the video, and you can check out more of my videos, which I'll also be putting at the end. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly Harry Potter videos with me, the Greg Who Lived. In the weeks leading up to Christmas, I'm going to be doing some Harry Potter giveaways on my Instagram page, which you can find me at the Greg Who Lived. And they are worldwide competitions, so anyone and everyone can enter. So definitely check it out, and you could be in with a chance of winning some great Harry Potter prizes. I would just like to point out that this is a gifted video. I was sent this as a gift. I have not been sponsored. All the opinions are very much my own, but I really hope that we can enjoy this video and see what's inside this very exciting calendar. Zavvi is a company that I've worked with quite a lot in the past couple of years, and they've always been really nice to me and sent me some really great products for me to review. They actually sent me their previous coin calendar. So this one was the one that came out last year, and as you can see, it's got the famous Deathly Hallows posters of Voldemort and Harry facing each other off in the final duel. And what was really exciting was this was a calendar that had never been done before. There had been sort of a growing market of Harry Potter calendars, I think a couple of years ago. And then last year, everyone sort of started bringing out different calendars, such as Lego, Funko, but Zavvi actually came out with this coin calendar, which, as we can see inside, was very shiny, covered a range of different characters, different familiars. We've got house logos, and I thought they did a brilliant job at recreating some of our favourite iconic characters from the series actually in coins. The only thing really similar to this was a coin collection that the supermarket Asda did here in the UK for the release of Philosopher's Stone in 2001. But since then, they've never really done anything on a mass scale where you can collect a lot of different coins. They've done one-off coins, special celebration coins, medallions, that sort of thing. But this was really special because every day leading up to Christmas, you got to open a new character, and it was really exciting because I hadn't seen anyone else that had really opened the whole thing. So I really enjoyed this last year, and they were kind enough to gift me this year's, which is just here. This one obviously looks a lot flatter than this, but what you do is each day you open a door and you get a coin. And right at the end, they actually put a flat booklet in the back, so you can actually put all your coins in, display them really nicely, and it looks fantastic on your shelf. What also helps make these much more of a collector's item, like I said in some of my earlier videos looking at some of my rarer pieces, they are actually numbered on the back. So this was number 85 out of a possible 2,000. So 2,000 really isn't that many. A lot of the Fnatic products that I have looked at in different videos, they're nearly 10,000. So 2,000 really isn't that many. And Zavvi actually sold out of this really quickly last year. Who knows if they will sell out again this year. However, I will put the link to the product from the Zavvi website in the description below. And that way you can check it out for yourself and have a little closer look. Who knows? You might even buy one. Obviously, with a calendar like this, once you've kind of opened up the coin, that is sort of all it really does. So maybe for younger audiences, this won't be as captivating. However, I think for a more avid, slightly older collector, this is actually a perfect little present for the run-up to Christmas. Now, with it being £60, that is a lot of money, but I would quite enjoy this as a present in the run-up to Christmas and the big day. And as I say, it makes a fantastic item to have on your shelf. One thing which I am quite curious about, maybe a little conscious about, is that obviously last year we had all these coins, and now I know there is a lot of Harry Potter characters out there, but it'll be interesting to see what new characters they do, and if they use some of the characters that have already been used but kind of present them in a different way. This is what the coins looked like last year. Here's my favourite dude, Remus Lupin, and they take on a kind of antique gold look. And what was quite special as well was Harry was Christmas Eve and he was super shiny, super gold, and he fitted right in as well. And also, just to highlight, the little pods that they fit in, they also have character names, just so you know exactly where to put them. So I think it is going to be really interesting to compare to last year, see what they have sort of rebranded, rethought, and what new characters are going to be inside. But of course, there's only one way we're going to find out, and that is by starting with day number 1. And like with my last calendar video, the fun bit is always trying to find the numbers. So wish me luck. Here goes day number 1, and quite luckily, it's just up here. We are starting with a bang. Number 1 is Hermione Granger, the brightest witch of her age. And this is what I was saying about the little plastic covers that it comes in to keep them protected. And if we just pop this one out, we can see that it has this design on the back, and this is the front. This is the comparison from last year to this year. And we can see that there is a difference in colour. So these ones opted for more of an antique gold, and these ones have gone for a pewter look. And as well as the colours of them, the design is also different, as you can see on the back of the coins. They are the same height, the level of detail in them is still really good, and it has the character names on the front as well. I prefer the colours of last year, and these have a bit more indentation into them, whereas this design has lots of little symbols, but not quite as many levels, if that makes sense actually, in the detail. However, I really like the colour of these, and I think it is a great addition to the collection. Hermione, obviously one of the golden trio, so I think we can accept 2 of her on the coins. However, I do hope they've expanded the range and maybe come up with a few different characters that we didn't get in year 1. But what is nice is this takes on Hermione in Half-Blood Prince, and this is Hermione in Order of the Phoenix. So hopefully with the characters that you do get the same of, they will have a different look. Let's move on to day number 2, which is just down here. So I did think that this was actually Errol, because it does look a bit like Errol, but I suppose they're both owls, but it is in fact Hedwig. And what I really, really love about this coin is they've really gone into adding a surface pattern to the outside. The letter actually has Harry Potter on the front as well. Just really, really, really nice details with this one. And I actually think I'm coming around to the silver colour. It does add something different to last year's, and I think together, when they're presented, all the coins will look really quite special. Hedwig is day number 2. On to day number 3. They've got a fan favourite, Rubius Hagrid, or Rubius, however you want to say it. But he looks really great, and they've done a really good job with his hair and his beard, and I really like his little nose there as well. It looks really a lot like Robbie Coltrane, and I think they've put a lot of effort into making the facial details really detailed, and then with the rest, like body and the pattern, kind of made it a bit softer. So I love that the focus is really on the expression that he's pulling. On to day number 4, and we're going to Harry's forehead. It's going to be Harry, who knows. He's a character that weirdly divides people. A lot of people love him, a lot of people find him very creepy and quite annoying, but I think that this Dobby coin is brilliant. I've seen a lot of terrible Dobby merch, and this, the face is fantastic. So doing a little magical expression as well. It's got its fingers ready, poised to do a spell. I think he looks really great, and they've even added the details of his hair, which actually goes outside of the border. So they have played around with these quite a lot, and they've really tried to make each of the characters very different. I think it's actually a really good representation of Dobby, and he particularly looks really good in the silver. But 4 of the characters we have already had from last year's calendar, but I'm hoping as we move forward we get some that we haven't seen before. Day number 5, this bottom corner, a good old Alan Rickman as Severus Snape. Again, a character that really divides people. This looks very much like Alan Rickman. They've got the perfectly swishy hair, and he's even got his cloak. And a fun fact, did you know that Snape is one of the only characters that has the same costume throughout all the films? There you go. I think they've done a brilliant job. His expression is killer. I do not want to mess with him, and I think neither do you. On to day number 6. This one is very different. The night bus. I love that they've actually included some other more magical objects. Who knows if we're going to have things like the Elder Wand, the invisibility cloak, a Weasley jumper, I'm not entirely sure. But the night bus is really iconic from Prisoner of Azkaban. The window wipers, the little night bus sign, it's got all the wheels, all the windows, and brilliant job with this. I'm actually really excited to see what else could be included. A wizard's very lucky number, day number 7. I'm not his biggest fan, but day number 7 goes to Draco Malfoy, and he is taking the form of Half-Blood Prince Draco, or possibly Deathly Hallows Draco actually. Looks brilliantly like Tom Felton. The details, especially around the eyes and the mouth and the nose, are really good, and perfect little pattern in the background. Moving on to day number 8. Dividing people for all the wrong reasons, because she's nothing like she is in the book. We have Ginny Weasley, who I'm going to say isn't the best looking. They've picked her, I know exactly what scene it is. It's when she's standing behind Harry and she's waiting for all the Quidditch tryout people to actually get their act together, and she yells, "Shut it," and I remember she's pulling this kind of weird pose. It's a weird angle. It's kind of a below looking up. So it looks like she has quite a long neck. I don't know if I would have picked that. She doesn't really get many iconic scenes like she does in the books. In the films, she's very bland. But I think this does look like Bonnie Wright, and the eyes are really good. I think they could have just picked maybe a different expression. But as I say, you are very limited with Ginny. Day number 9. I think is possibly going to be one of my most favourite coins that they've done. Because I wouldn't say he's obscure, but not my first pick for some of the most celebrated characters from Harry Potter. But the likeliness is uncanny, and it is Argos Filch. And this one has a lot of relief, so his eyebrows are quite high up and his eyes are really set back, and it looks just like Argos Filch. It's quite crazy how similar it looks. His tie as well, and his whole outfit is very detailed as well. They've done a brilliant, blinding job on Argos Filch, who I didn't think would ever get the merch that I don't think he deserves, but I do think it is brilliant. Day number 10. Ron Weasley is not great. He's got a very odd looking nose, but his uniform detail is fantastic. He's got the Gryffindor crest, and his hair's really detailed. It's just, his face is a bit flat between his sort of forehead going to his lower face. It is a little bit strange. I think it's definitely recognisable as Ron, and the thing to remember with these coins is that each coin could look slightly different by how it's manufactured. Say it looks like Ron, but it's not a super likeness to Ron. Number 11, the Golden Snitch. Now, I think it's kind of ironic that this is in silver and it is the Golden Snitch. Because of the reduced size, obviously you don't get the full wingspan of the Golden Snitch. It's nice that they're reinterpreting some of our favourite objects as well into these coins. And you all know I love Golden Snitches, so can't complain with this. Day number 12. Incredible creatures this year, because here is Buckbeak. Look at that. Different types of textures that they've created in this coin, but Buckbeak being a hippogriff, we've got the feathers on the wings, and then we've got the claws and the back leg, and even his beak as well. Buckbeak I always think is one of the most underrated sort of creatures from Harry Potter, and this coin really does him justice. He's put in a really energetic pose. Looks like he's about to claw someone. Maybe Draco's insulted him again. But I really love this coin, and the textures really do make this. Here's hoping that they add more creatures. Who knows? We might even get a Grindylow. Day 13, which is unlucky for some, but is my lucky number. Yes, they're carrying on with the creature theme. We've got another fantastic creature here, and it is getting quite cold in here. I'm feeling quite sad because it is a Dementor. Look at that. Once again, they've done a brilliant job with the textures. They've really got the fabric lines and contours really well. Also got the really creepy, gnarly hand that's in there. And I really like how they've sort of positioned the Dementor within the coin, and it's almost like it's kind of flying out of the coin. This looks really, really good in the silver. I don't think this would have looked as good in the gold. So it's nice to see that the silver is really complementing a lot of the different coins that they've created. Day number 14. Once again, this is a character that did feature in last year's calendar, but he's got an updated look, and he is very, very beardy. But it is Sirius Black, who's pulling a slightly different expression to last year's coin, but I think is wearing the same sort of uniform from Order of the Phoenix. It's his Grimmauld Place kind of casual suit, because Sirius is the coolest guy to have a casual suit. It really does look like Gary Oldman. They've done a really good job with the hair on this one. Obviously, Gary Oldman has a fantastic wig in Order of the Phoenix, and it really does look like Gary Oldman. And it's interesting with some how they've really got some depth. And this one, the eyes really do look just like Gary Oldman. Day 15. We've got a new character. I'm loving all the characters that they're bringing out in this one. This is a character that I really love. She's a bit useless. She's a bit of a fraud. But we have Trelawney, and she looks incredible. Emma Thompson did a fantastic job, I think, as Trelawney, and the expression that she's pulling in this one is wide eyes. She's got her glasses on, and she's got her shawls. She's got that wild, manic mane of hair, and I really love Trelawney, and it's quite exciting that we get another character that's quite obscure, doesn't get a lot of merch, but here she is. I will say with this one, it has got a slight scratch, I think. I'm not sure if it's how it's been molded. It looks like it might have maybe a small defect. I'm not sure if it's actually to create some sort of contour or shape on the crystal ball, which is at the front. However, it really does match with her, and very much looks like Emma Thompson telling you that you have the Grim. Day number 16, just here. A weird and wonderful creature. Honestly, whoever came up with this calendar, I think tried to take a sort of darker side to the Harry Potter series, because we've got some incredible creatures, some dark creatures, and this is no exception because it is the basilisk, or should I say, this is the basilisk. Skin detail is brilliant. They've got him or her looking particularly snaky, and looks like they're ready to attack and kill. I think this is brilliant. I love that they're really pulling out all the obscure sort of characters. Once again, I love that this is breaking the perimeter, so it looks like it's really coming out of the coin. Really interesting choice of characters. We're going to be taking out all three of the silver trio with this one, which is day number 17. Yet have a coin in this calendar of the best Ravenclaw head of house, Phileas Flitwick. However, we do have a coin of Warwick Davies' other character, Griphook. This one is really special because it's Griphook with the sword of Gryffindor. He is taking up a lot of the coin with details of his sort of pinstripe shirt, his jacket, and he is gripping the sword very tightly as well. Is he a creature or a character? And they've done a really good job with creating his expression, his kind of scowl, and adding the goblin-like ears and his kind of matted hair. Number 18. It's a fan favourite, and she is my second favourite character. And so this day, we get Luna Lovegood. She looks incredible. The Quibbler which she's holding, that is all detailed. She's got lots of her hair detailed, her radish earrings, and not forgetting her Spectra specs. However, they did use this one on last year's coin, and it is a very similar look. She's doing a different pose, and it has a different background, obviously a different colour metal. But I guess it is a little disheartening that it is the same character. However, one thing we have to remember is they're trying to be inclusive to an audience who might not have have gotten last year's calendar, so they do have to pick out some of the more favourite characters. As of yet, we haven't had Harry, we haven't had Neville, so I'm sure that they will make an appearance at some point. So Luna is a fan favourite. They could have done something maybe slightly different, so she did look different to last year's, but this is such an iconic look for Luna, I'm not surprised that they went with the same thing again. Day number 19. Who designed this calendar? I absolutely love it. They pull out all the stops and instead we get Quirrell. How incredible is that? Another character who doesn't get any merch apart from a couple of Funko Pops, and here he is looking very seething, mischievous, scheming, turban. It looks exactly like Ian Hart. It's just brilliant what they've done. I just love it. Like, who thought to put Quirrell in this calendar? Brilliant. Such a good choice. I love the obscure characters of Harry Potter, and obviously Quirrell is really big in Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone, but to have him on a piece of merch is quite special. Day number 20. Disappointing because it is another repeat of a character that I think gets a lot of credit as being, you know, a really big character, but for me, they're not that big and there are much more lovable characters. But it is Mad-Eye Moody, who is doing a fairly similar pose to last year's calendar. 21. Is it Harry Potter, Christmas, Hogwarts, without Albus Dumbledore? Now this coin does take on a very different look to last year's Michael Gambon looking Dumbledore, but he didn't have his little hat on. So this year they've gone for a slightly different pose, more of the Prisoner of Azkaban look. But I would have liked to have seen maybe a Richard Harris coin. I know that he didn't really get as much merch as Michael Gambon, having only done the first 2 Harry Potter films, so it might have been nice to have him actually on a coin. Here he's got the Elder Wand, he's got all his rings, and he's got that quirky little sort of fez-like hat on. But day 22. Once again, another character that we did get from last year's calendar, but they really changed up McGonagall's look. So this is her in this coin, and in the first calendar, she has herself a bit more put together. She's got a hat on, she looks very strict, whereas this is from the Battle of Hogwarts in Deathly Hallows Part 2, where she is casting Pier Totem Locomotor. She is trying to protect as many people as she can, and she's being the feisty witch that we all know and love. And here we are at the penultimate door. Who do we think it's going to be? Are they going to leave Harry till last again? Who knows? We haven't had Neville, so let's see. I'm shocked it was not Neville. However, this one is, I think, the most realistic out of all of them. And it is the Dark Lord himself, Lord Voldemort, who is looking creepy as hell. This looks like the scene from Order of the Phoenix, where he's cast and he gets really cocky, he's cast that big fire serpent, he's like, oh, I've done it, I've won. And then Dumbledore's like, here's a big glob of water, and Voldemort's like, what have you done? And that's the expression he's kind of pulling. I really think they've done possibly one of the best jobs out of all these coins actually on Voldemort. The hand is a little bit odd at the bottom, but I think his face and his gesture, his pose really make up for that. And the eyes are just so creepy. The nose, obviously, or lack of nose, is particularly creepy as well. And smashed it. And so we come to day number 24. It's Christmas Eve. We're all excited. Who do we think is going to be behind door number 24? It's a Harry Potter calendar, but will it be Harry Potter? One way to find out. We could not have a Harry Potter calendar without the wizard himself. And this one, as in last year's, takes on a much shinier finish, and this is bright and shiny. They've obviously plated it in something different to what the other coins are plated in, and it finishes off what has been a really, really fun calendar. I think for those people that might not have had last year's, this will still be full of excitement. And we all knew that it had to end on this, but expression is perfect. The details of it are really good, and I think it really, really does top off what has been a really fun calendar. Exciting, bit of a roller coaster. Who knew what characters we were going to get, but definitely tops it off with the classic. Opened all the doors, we have seen what's inside, but of course there's now the fun bit where you get to present your coins. So this bit is actually just the card outer, and this can be recycled, which is fantastic. There's not a lot of waste with this product, so you can actually just open using the little tabs at the top, which make it nice and easy. So this bit just folds out, and then you should be able to just slide the tray out. What I really love is seeing the design of the book. So this is the inside, and I think they've taken the Voldemort and Harry from Deathly Hallows posters, that kind of look, and then we've got some sort of magic symbols going around the outside. Hogwarts here, some writing on the top, and then on the back we've got the Hogwarts H, which kind of matches the colours from the inside. Up here we've got the 2000 sticker again, so this one is actually 1595, but it's looking a bit empty, so let's fill it up. And so here we have the finished coin collection with all of the coins. Don't they look absolutely brilliant? They all come together to create a really magical looking display. And like I showed you with the last year's calendar, this works really well on display or just having it on your bookshelf as something that you can pull out and look at. I think they've done a really good job at Zavvi of once again putting a lot of energy, a lot of their design resources into producing such a cohesive and really good product. And I think you can tell a lot of thought has gone into this, and it's probably made by people that are actually fans as well. However, Zavvi always do a really good job with all the clothes that they create and a lot of their very own products such as this, and I am extremely happy with this. But hopefully they make one next year, the year after, and by the time I'm 100, I will have lots of these to look at. £60 is quite a lot of money for what is an advent calendar. However, I do believe that advent calendars really are becoming a part of the Christmas experience and within themselves part of a Christmas present. So there's no reason you couldn't buy one of these for yourself or for a loved one or a friend or family member who absolutely loves Harry Potter, and they can experience a bit of the magic every day leading up to the big day, or open them all together. I couldn't recommend this enough, and I know that £60 is a big price tag. However, I think the quality of the coins, the finish, the display book, the fact it is a collector's item really brings it all together, and I think does make it really worth the price tag as well. With that concludes my unboxing of the new Harry Potter Zavvi coin advent calendar. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you did want to purchase one for yourself, I will put the link in the description below. A massive thank you to Zavvi, who I really enjoy working with on lots of different projects, and hopefully there'll be more videos collaborating with them in the future. But for now, it is that time for me to say goodbye. But before I go, don't forget to subscribe at the bottom, just there. You can check out the first calendar in my rare items video, just up here, or watch some of my other unboxings just here. Till next time, stay safe, stay magical, and get Christmassy. Until then, bye.